This year's NFL MVP race has come down to two quarterbacks who really couldn't be any more different. The veteran who's seeking his second Super Bowl ring, Matthew Stafford, and the sophomore who's trying to win his first, Drake Maye. Stafford is putting up huge numbers through the air, while Maye's mix of poise, mobility, and leadership has completely transformed New England's offense. So today, we're breaking down both of their seasons, the stats, some of the biggest games, and the impact to figure out who really deserves to take home the MVP. I don't want this video to be incredibly long, so I'm not going to go through every single game and break them down week by week. What we are going to do is go by month and compare the months that they had September all the way to December. So let's start off with September. The Rams had a pretty great start to the 2025 season. They won 3 out of their first 4 games, with the only loss being a Week 3 meltdown against the Eagles. LA was up 19-7 at halftime and let the Eagles chase them down, and ultimately lost the game on a blocked kick that the Eagles ran back for a touchdown. Stafford threw for 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But Stafford and the Rams would bounce back against the Colts the following week and have their most impressive performance yet. Stafford threw for 375 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Moving over to Drake Maye, in the month of September, the Patriots played Las Vegas, Miami, Pittsburgh, and Carolina to start their season. Vegas resulted in a 20-13 loss. Maye had 287 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. In the Miami game, he threw for 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Another stat that started to become relevant during this game was Maye's rushing yards. This was a big factor in helping New England's offense move the chains throughout the game. He ran for 31 yards and 1 touchdown. In Week 3, the Patriots would host the Steelers, and this was an absolute mess for New England. The Patriots turned the ball over 5 times. Drake Maye was responsible for 2 of those, with 1 interception coming right in the end zone. He had 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also ran for 45 yards. Even though they turned the ball over left and right, the game was still relatively close. The Steelers ended up winning 21-14, but it was clear that the Patriots were getting a lot better at moving the ball on offense. They just had to hold on to it. After cleaning up their act against the Panthers, the Patriots were looking to carry this momentum into October. October would be a fantastic start for Stafford, but not so much for the Rams. LA would suffer a Week 5 loss to the 49ers in an overtime thriller where Matt Stafford threw for 389 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 fumble. After that week, the Rams wouldn't lose another game for the rest of the month. There was a 2-week stretch where Stafford threw a combined 9 touchdowns, 5 in a London game where the Rams dismantled the Jaguars, and 4 when the Rams pummeled the Saints. Matthew Stafford helped lead the Rams to a 6-2 record heading into November. October for Drake Maye would yield similar results. The Patriots played the Bills, Saints, Titans, and Browns and beat all 4 of them. Drake Maye's most impressive game on paper was that Week 8 matchup against Cleveland. He threw for 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and had 1 fumble, in addition to 50 rushing yards. The most impressive win was in Week 5 when the Patriots went to Buffalo and upset their division rival. He threw for 273 yards, no touchdowns, no turnovers, but did put the world on notice that the new and improved Patriots had arrived. November would be a fantastic month for Matthew Stafford. He and the Rams would light up the Saints and the 49ers before hosting the Seahawks. Seattle's defense gave Stafford a very rough time, holding him to 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. But LA's defense would also show up and give Sam Darnold a fit. The Rams would still end up walking away with the victory by a score of 21-19. Stafford would follow that win up with a hell of a performance against Tampa, where he threw for 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. The Rams' final game of the month would be a loss against a team that would turn out to kinda have their number. Surprisingly, the Carolina Panthers. Stafford had 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble. Those 4 wins and that 1 loss would push the Rams to a record of 10-3. For Drake Maye, November would be a month of pure consistency. Looking at his stats altogether, the numbers start to blend together. Drake Maye really was just playing the same game over and over again, which was really the whole story of Drake Maye's 2025 season. New England would win all 4 of their November games and improve to a record of 10-2. December would start off with Matt Stafford lighting up Arizona's defense for 281 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. The Rams would win the next week in a shootout against Detroit, where Stafford threw for 368 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The following week would be a divisional game at Seattle, the second of their biannual meetings. Matthew Stafford threw 457 yards, 3 touchdowns, and had no turnovers. Even with this massive performance, the Rams still lost in overtime by a score of 37-38. There was a feeling, though, that this would not be the last time these two rivals would play each other this season. Both teams were jockeying to win the NFC West, and I think most NFL fans knew there was a third meeting in store for them in the playoffs. December for Drake Maye would bring the Patriots their first loss since September. They would be up by 21 points at home to the Bills before their defense fell apart and ending up losing by a final score of 35-31. Drake Maye had a lackluster performance where he threw for just 155 yards, 1 interception, but did run in 2 touchdowns himself. The following week, the Patriots would come away with one of their most impressive wins of the season. On the road in Baltimore, they would beat the Ravens 28-24, and Maye threw for 380 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And just after Christmas, the Patriots went to MetLife Stadium and disassembled the poorly made New York Jets by a score of 42-10. Drake Maye had 256 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 turnovers. The man only missed 2 throws. There was, of course, one more game at the very end of the regular season that fell into January. Patriots and Rams both won those matchups. Stafford threw for 259 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions against the Cardinals, while Drake Maye threw for 191 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions against the Dolphins. So looking at the regular season as a whole, here are Matthew Stafford's regular season numbers, and here are Drake Maye's. So on numbers alone, you can see Stafford has the edge in yards, touchdowns, and has 1 less turnover. Maye clearly has the running element to his game, but he also has a higher completion percentage and the better team record. But the tape does not stop there, because we still have the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
As of making this video, Matt Stafford and the LA Rams have played 2 playoff games. They beat the Panthers in the wild card round, and they beat the Bears in the divisional round. Both wins coming on the road. Against the Panthers, Matt Stafford threw for 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The Rams would advance by a score of 34-31. Against the Bears, in a game that went to overtime, Stafford threw for 258 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and 2 fumbles. The Rams would advance by a score of 20-17. Drake Maye and the Patriots have also played 2 playoff games. Both of their wins were at home. In the wildcard round against the Chargers, Maye threw for 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 2 fumbles. The Patriots would advance by a score of 16-3. In the divisional round against the Texans, Maye threw for 179 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 4 fumbles. Now, at this point, you could come to your own conclusion with all that information. However, they both do have one more very important game coming up. At least one more, depending on the outcome of said game. Both of these guys have led their teams to the conference championship. The Rams are going to Seattle for their 3rd showdown with their divisional rivals, the Seahawks. Seattle's defense is outrageous, so Matt Stafford is going to have a pretty impressive performance if he's going to get his Rams to the Super Bowl. In the AFC, the Patriots are going to Denver to play the Broncos. Yes, the Broncos are now missing their starting QB in Bo Nix, so the Broncos are going with Jarrett Stidham, which is ironic seeing that the Patriots drafted him back in 2019. So I know there's plenty of people that are still going to be on the Patriots cakewalk narrative. But when it comes to Drake Maye and the MVP award specifically, he's not going up against Denver's offense. The man has to play their defense, which, similar to Seattle, that defense is also outrageous. I mean, we saw the fit they gave Josh Allen in the divisional round. So both of these guys have one more game before the NFL awards on February 5th. Both are going up against stacked defenses. And hell, if they both pull off wins on the road, they'll be playing each other in the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not sure how much the powers that be take these conference championship games into their decision-making process, or any of these playoff games for that matter. But regardless, we're going to see how both of these guys play this weekend. And I want you, yes, you watching right now, to leave your MVP vote down in the comments below. If you want to wait until both of these guys play their conference championship games and then come back here and leave your vote afterwards, that's totally fine, as long as you come back. Or if you already have your mind made and want to leave your vote now, you can go right ahead and do that. Because regardless, I'm more interested in seeing what the average NFL fan, or at least the average NFL fan on YouTube, thinks about the NFL MVP this year when it comes to these two guys. But that's going to do it for this video, folks. Please remember to give the video a like if you did enjoy it. It does really help out the channel. And if you want new videos every single week, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because besides these videos, we also live stream our NFL and NBA podcast every Wednesday night right here on this same channel. And we'll be going live right after the conference championship games this weekend to recap the outcome of the games. If you want to join our Discord, it's completely free. It's linked down in the description below, in addition to our TikTok and our Instagram, where we post videos every single day. So be sure to follow us over there. That being said, I'll see you on the podcast. Peace out.